had there been other very high-profile people come to you about this who are worried about this case?
There's been friends of people, there have been some people, and basically the reason for it, James, is this: 60s and 70s, young pop stars suddenly becoming young pop stars, going from, working in a factory one week, next minute they're, packing in thousands of people and girls are screaming and throwing themselves at them. All kinds of things went on. And I do mean, young girls throwing themselves at them in their dressing rooms, at concert halls, at gigs or whatever. They never asked for anybody's birth certificate. And they were young lads that suddenly, everybody's dream was a reality. So, and I'm not condoning it, but I think you can understand it. No one had heard the word paedophile in those days, 60s and 70s. But then you had people on the periphery, James. You had people, whether it was at television or that saw opportunities. Oh, I can get you into this. I can get you on television. I can, whatever.
Are we talking the sort of the roadie, the manager,
well,
the producer?
I mean, we're talking about people around.
Yeah.
People in close proximity, like Jimmy Savile, that saw opportunities. And obviously, as we're finding out in abundance now, what happened? I'm hoping that, the real predators are the ones that we're going to find out about, the Glitters of this world, the Saviles of this world, not, people that were randy young pop stars in the 60s that had women throwing themselves, 60s, 70s, 80s even, had women throwing themselves at them everywhere they went. And because, that's a whole different area and a whole different situation.
How many people would you say are concerned that they may be tarnished with this? Now,
Dozens.
And we're talking big names, not...
Yeah, we're talking about a lot of people that were huge names in the 60s and 70s. And I mean, a lot of them barely remember what they did last week, genuinely. So for them to try and recount what happened in a dressing room in 1965 or 1968 or 1972, genuinely they're frightened to death because, well, I don't remember, Max. I can't even remember going on that tour, let alone what happened.
And what have you advised them to do, Max?
Well, I mean, what I've advised all of them to do is, try and get as close to what went on and what happened as you possibly can, so that as and when and if anybody approaches you, you've got the answers and you've got the truth.
Now,
but, it's easier said than done.
Just to be absolutely right about this, a number of very big names have come to see you about their concern about what may or may not have happened in those days.
I wouldn't say a load of big names have come to see me. I've had conversations with, lots of people that were big stars in the 60s and 70s, some of whom still are big stars, etc., as well as lots of others, and also stars that are basically saying, that I'm worried that someone might drop me in it to cover themselves.
There must have been, I'm led to believe, people who facilitated what went on. Do you think, and it'll be very... The media will want to know the celebrities and the stars and the names that they know. Do you think that means that the people behind the scenes, the people who weren't well known, who might have been far more involved or as involved, may get away with it or not?
Well, I mean, I think I'd be very, very surprised if we get anything more than about 10% of what really went on. But I think that also that a lot of these people that were facilitating and were, acting the way like Jimmy Savile, were very, very clever people and have had many, many, many years to cover their backs in all kinds of ways. And the fact that, if you like, that now this has come into the open, they would be very, very busy making sure that any potential evidence or whatever, remains out the way.
Max, thank you very much indeed for your time. It'll be interesting to see what is uncovered over the next couple of weeks. Max Clifford, thank you very much.
Nice to talk to you, James.